1, 2. Whatever you want. Only marks. 1, 1, 2, 3. Uno, dos. 1, 2.
All right, Joe, I'm going to have to catch up with you after a bit.
1,
All right, welcome to the Baja Score 1000, the 50th anniversary. Getting ready to kick it off and going live, man. You get to be the first guy off the line. How does that feel, being able to start the Baja 1000, and especially the 50th anniversary, first guy to take this course on?
Yeah, excited to get this race going. You know, this is the 50th anniversary, and a lot of anticipation build up to this race, and it's finally here. And you know, the whole team's worked really, really hard the last since the 500 till now, and I can't wait to get this going.
Yeah, this 1X is just ready to rip it up, and you guys are chasing the 45X, correct? How close are you guys?
Yep, they will be starting first. We'll be second, and we'll be chasing them the whole way. So it's gonna be a good race between 45X and us.
All right, who do you got piloting this 1X bike for this race?
It'll be me, Colton Udall, Justin Jones, Ryan Penhall, and Ian Young at the end.
Awesome, awesome. Do you want to give a quick shout out to some of your sponsors real fast before you don't have a chance to say anything again for a while?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all our pit crews that came down, everyone that helps us organize this. You know, it's a lot of work to race the Baja 1000, especially a peninsula run. So all of our pit crews and everyone that helps us get that done. American Honda, Monster Energy, Michelin Tires, Lava Propane, Answer, Scorpion. You know, the list goes on and on. I really appreciate everything that you guys do for us, and hopefully we can bring you another win. Awesome,
man. We're looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see you guys down at the bottom at La Paz. So this is really exciting for the Score International Baja 1000, the 50th running. We're going live right now. You can check us out streaming live on scoreinternational.com, Score International mobile app, and also you can check it out on the Score International YouTube channel to follow and chase some of your favorite riders and team members and families down there. What do you think about this, kicking this off, Rat?
We're doing it, man. Super excited. It's been 2 full days, the longest contingency we've had. 2 over 9-hour days here at the 50th anniversary of the BFGoodrich Tire Baja 1000. Excited to be here. We got Mark Samuels, our first bike off, and a ton of bikes tonight. Something different. We're starting them at midnight here, giving them that 10-hour gap before the four-wheel vehicles come in 10 a.m.
Yeah, they come at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I always check in and tune in for that. So as we're going, you'll be able to live stream and track these guys as they're running through the course.
That's right, and being able to track them, you can check out your favorite riders, our Score International off-road app. You could actually follow the riders, see where they're at. You can go on there and make comments and watch us live. So lots of app-only content on there, and super excited about that big influx in our social side of things this year.
Yeah, it's really grown, and we can really appreciate everybody that's involved. We've got King Shocks on board. We've got Raceline Wheels, Monster Energy, the official drink of the Score International Baja 1000, the 50th running. And, you know, we're getting down to the 1,000. Everybody's been waiting for this all year long, especially to run this 50th. So the day has come. The starting time is within 15 minutes of now, the official start of the Baja 1000, the 50th anniversary. And we've got some cool people here to help us out and get this thing through.
Yeah, we're super excited. I mean, we've been building up to this. We talked about it earlier, Donovan. 3 years plus just gearing up for this 50th anniversary of the BFGoodrich Tire Baja 1000. So super excited to finally be here, and we're just minutes away. About 15 minutes, we're going to send this 1X, last year's champion, that Ox Motorsports, got Bonanza Plumbing on side, Monster Energy. Mark Samuel's going to be making his way down to La Paz. Are you going to be finishing up, or are you just going to do the start, Mark? I know he probably asked you, but we're having a party up here.
No, I'm just going to roll off the line and hand it over to Colton. Colton likes the night, so I'm going to hand it over to him and let him go have some fun. And once the sun comes up, I'll be back on the bike for a good chunk of it. So, and then Ian Young and Ryan Penhall will finish it up for us.
So you guys got the team. I mean, you guys have just been killing it this year. It's been a tight battle in the open class, though. I mean, the points race, you guys are just right there.
Yeah, it's tight. You know, 45X has been putting up a fight for sure. So I think we specialize in the Baja 1000. That's where our team comes together very well. So I'm looking forward to getting this race done.
We're looking forward to seeing this Monster Energy-backed Honda on the finish line. You're going to make it down to La Paz, or are you just going to hang out down this way?
Yeah, of course I'll be in La Paz. I have to.
You have to. We'll see you there. Hopefully have some champagne cracked for you.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, good luck. Have fun and be safe, man.
Mark,
Oh, they're ready. I could feel it. The crowd's getting ready. Ensenada, listo para correr es la motos. Team Honda, they want to get a picture. Let them get a picture of Mark Samuels over here. And something other special, Donovan, which we added this year. Super excited. The man, the legend. We have Dave Arnold, man. It's always good to have you out here, buddy. You're going to be calling a lot of action. We're going to be up in the plane and all of our drones down the peninsula. We're super excited to have you on our team this year.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it. I'm really excited to be out, be out here. 50th anniversary. This is epic. I'll tell you, this year is going to set a new mark for what the Baja 1000 really is. And I'm telling you, I am looking forward to this coverage that we're going to be doing this year. If you guys aren't watching at home, you're going to miss all the great stuff.
And if you are, please share it. Let everybody know we're going to be live on Facebook, as Donovan said, our YouTube, as well as our Score International app and our scoreinternational.com. So lots of places to watch it, but we talk about unprecedented. We have our drone teams. These guys have been spread out down the peninsula. We're going to be bringing them some great coverage and excited to be down here and keep it going. So, Dave, thanks for joining the team, man. We're looking forward to it's about 3 more days of madness ahead of us. We're just getting this party started here, and it's midnight. That's the way we do it. We got all the monster girls, plenty of monster energy to keep us pumped up and going.
Yeah, absolutely. It's everybody at sports in this community here that makes this race so great. It's all the fans, the friends, the families out here that's going to make this all possible and make for an epic race.
That's what it's all about. Last year, I think there was over 100,000. This year, 200,000 people expected all the way down the peninsula. Yeah, we've been doing this a couple years, Donovan, but to see it grow to this is the granddaddy, the biggest, baddest race, the 50th anniversary, brought to you by BFGoodrich Tires. This is the Baja 1000, round 4 of the World Desert Championship Series. It all comes down to this.
Yeah, exactly. And what the cool part about it, this being the 50th anniversary, a lot of people decided to come out and try this out. We had stories of guys pulling the old car out of the woodwork, getting it ready, tuning it up. Everybody wants to hit this. Everybody wants to be a part of that.
That's right. Well, they're all here. We have just a record amount of racers here. Over almost 420 racers down here. That's a lot. And the last couple of days of contingency really showed we had 9-hour days, 2 days in a row. So that was pretty epic.
Yeah, and the cool thing that you find out about Baja is you get a little of that Baja magic down here. And we see a lot of things that we normally wouldn't see. We've had guys drive their Jeep all the way from Maine to come down. They're going to race the 1,000, drive it back up the peninsula, and head back to Maine. Driving all the way through, we had the guys from Florida that brought it in. They're like, hey, let's go race the 1,000. We had a marriage proposal today, too, during contingency, and she said yes, so there's more magic there.
It's all magical up here. Looks like Francisco Arredondo just pulled up right here. This is the battle for the points, so we can walk over and maybe catch a few words with him. Francisco is on the bike over here. We'll see what he thinks about this.
System to call Santa Fish for the plaque. I don't know where he is.
Okay. We'd like to see Mr. Sal Fish. He's going to be our master of ceremonies. Sal, if you're out there, would you please make your way to the ramp? We're just about ready to kick this thing off.
He was just with Roger.
Once again, Sal Fish, one of the co-founders of SCORE back in the day with Mickey Thompson. 38 years of making this into what it is. Roger took it over here a few years ago, taking things to the next level. We have Francisco up here. You got a minute? You want to take your helmet up right now? This is your points leader, Open Pro Motorcycle, and it has been a battle this year, and you guys are feeling it. It all is coming down to this one race here, the 50th anniversary.
Well, super excited, and thank you, SCORE. It's great. It's like we're in for quite a long day and night, and it's great. We're just happy to be here. We feel happy to be leading this, and I know it's going to be a fight the whole day, so we are really looking forward for this.
Well, we're looking forward to it. We have our drones all the way down the peninsula. We're going to catch this battle like it's never been caught before down here in Baja.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's really excited. We've worked really hard. They made us work really hard, and we're going to give it all here, and we're going to try to be in La Paz really happy.
Well, we hope to see you there. I know this Bremen team, you got some great sponsors backing you. You want to thank them?
I really want to thank Bremen and everybody in the team, Chase crews, mechanics, and every single guy in the crew has put everything to get us here, and we have amazing drivers. So,
all right, you want to say something to all your Spanish-speaking fans out here and thank them for coming out here at midnight to watch you do this thing?
Bueno, bienvenidos a la Baja, 50 años, un gusto estar acá, ¡Viva México!
All right, well, good luck to you guys, and we'll see you guys in La Paz.
See you in La Paz.
All right, have fun out there, battle, be safe, and have a good time.
Yeah, there's nothing better to be able to watch this battle that these guys are having between the 45X and the 1X all the way down. You can live stream it and track it. You can be a part of the action. How much fun is that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not only being able to watch it, but to track these guys and figure out where they are. They're starting, I believe, 1-2 coming up. And, yeah, just looking forward to seeing the battle. Nobody's ever caught this battle, and it's been a long time since the points race come down to the 1,000 has been this close, so that's super exciting.
Oh, definitely, especially when these guys take off, being the first guys to run down the course, and their race starts immediately, and they're going to be pushing all the way down, and just that battle that they're going to have back and forth. I can see his tail light. I can see him coming. I can see the reflection of his headlights catching me. And you're on it, and you know you got 1,134 miles to get these bikes to the end, and best man down to La Paz.
But that's what it is. A lot of these riders that aren't really in contention for the lead, they'll be coming down there and they'll doing their 80% to get through. These guys are going to be wide open all the way going for that championship. So definitely some great battles are going to be had here. Lots of point championships on the line throughout the bikes and the four-wheel vehicles. We're looking forward to a great couple of days of racing down here for the BFGoodrich Tire 50th anniversary of the Baja 1000. So we're just minutes away from kicking this thing off. About 7 minutes, it sounds like. We got the word from Dave Arnold over there. Just a couple of minutes, we're going to send these bikes off the line and get this party started. We like to call it the World Desert Championship Round 4 here in beautiful Ensenada. So if you guys are watching, tonight's the bikes. We're going to send all our bikes, all our ATVs off, all the quads. And then at 10 a.m., we're going to kick it off with our trophy trucks. They're going to start it off in all of our four-wheel vehicles. And Donovan and I, we're going to head down to La Paz and catch all the action. Dave Arnold, he's going to be in our score studio here calling all the action as we see it throughout our drones. So it's going to be a great day, great couple of days of racing down here in Baja. We're looking forward to it.
Awesome.
You want to line some guys up for interview now before we get 7 minutes? Right there.
All right, our next rider up right here, 44X Grant Staley. Good to see you out here, man. You ready for this Baja race? It's got to feel weird starting at midnight. I've never done that before.
Yeah, first time starting at midnight and first peninsula race for me. So I'm super stoked.
So first time going down. How many years of Baja experience you have down here?
Second year. First Baja race was 2015 Baja 1000. So this is my second year racing and stoked to be on such a great team.
Yeah, we talk about this Bremen team. You guys got a couple of bike effort out here. You want to thank some of the sponsors that help you get this ride?
Yeah, Bremen, Arredondo Haynes Racing, Pro Circuit, Works Connections, Precision Concepts, of course, for making such a great bike. I mean, this thing's amazing to ride. It's almost like cheating, so them, and then Baja Designs for the lighting.
Look at the guys you have right in front of you, though. You need everything you could get. So if you think your bike's cheating, that's all you got. You better just be happy you got that, because you got your hands full tonight.
I got my hands full, all right. Got the throttle on the right, and we'll see what happens.
Well, good luck to you guys, and we'll see you in La Paz.
Thank you.
All right, be safe. Have fun. The bikes are all lining up once again. All the bikes, all the quads are going to be kicking this thing off here tonight, Donovan. And you could just feel in the air the people it's starting to pack in, as all you see is just a sea of heads as far either way. So, I mean, this is the biggest race that's ever been had down here, our biggest Baja 1000 for the 50th anniversary. And we couldn't have done it without BFGoodrich Tire and all of our sponsors.
Oh, most definitely. And if you look down through where the staging area is, all the way down the road, all the way going out of town. It is just wall-to-wall people all the way. These fans are like no other fans we've ever had. They're just out here. They're hanging it. They get a chance to be up and close and personal with the riders as they come in, the trophy trucks. They get to go up and shake their hands. And, I mean, what other motorsport can you do that, especially one that's been rated #1 2 years in a row by USA Today? How cool is that? That's
pretty big. Yeah, we were super happy to hear that. And Roger and Elise Norman, they've been building this up over the last couple of years, and you could see just the sponsors, the money that comes in. We got our TVs, now our live coverage. I mean, just constantly stepping it up. So it's great to see all that backing and where it's gone for the 50th here.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Like we're talking about how close you can get with the fans. The other cool thing is you can go to wideopen.com and do a ride and drive program with those BC cars. We got 12 of them this year to run through. So not only you get to be a fan and be close to the riders and close to the competition, but yet you can get involved in racing. And those wide open cars have a 98% finishing rate, which is unheard of in off-road racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even we talked to all the guys coming through Contingency here the last couple of days, and they're just talking about what a great program that Wide Open Tours is. And you don't have to race. You can come down here. They have tours through Cabo, 1, 2, 3, 4-day tours. Anything you need. That's what SCORE's all about, getting you hooked on off-road. We just tap that vein with a little adrenaline, and it seems like every guy that gets into one of those seems like they buy a vehicle, or most of them, and it's just kind of a bucket list thing, but it hooks a lot of drivers down here.
Oh, most definitely, and the cool part is we've got one team, the Speedy Gonzalez guys, that are running for the actual championship. So not only are they showing up and doing a ride and drive, but you can also be a champion, too, which is pretty amazing.
A world champion. This is the World Desert Championship Series. World champs are had. We have the fastest desert racers in the world, and you're going to see tonight. We're going to see some great racing. Super excited about with 6 drone teams all the way down the peninsula. They're going to be leapfrogging, sending us that live footage. We're going to have Dave Arnold in our SCORE studio here in Ensenada calling all the action. We're going to go down. We're not going to let you miss anything.
You know what the cool part is, Rat? Is we're about 2 minutes from kicking this thing off.
2 minutos. We're going racing. Yeah, it's all coming down to this. Finally going to drop that green flag. We got the lovely monster ladies up here. You know the party's getting started right here. We got the boys online. They're making their way up there. You know what we need to do is actually probably go get our list and find out who all's coming off the line, because this party's about to get going. Dave Arnold, I know this is your first time working with us down here in Baja. You're telling me you're excited to be a part of this program.
Well, not exactly my first time down here working. Many years ago, working with South Fish, I had a good chance. But, dude, what I'm excited is seeing that new viewing area, BFGoodrich sponsoring that new viewing area right at the start right there. See Mark Samuels lined up. Everyone's up there racing the best start. But you know what it's all about? The first turn. That's what's going to be exciting.
Everybody's loving it, yeah, especially when the four-wheel vehicles. But right now, we're just getting ready to kick off the bikes here with our first rider on the line right there, Ardondo. Excuse me. Oh, we got Garrett right here. Pouchet, man. What's happening? Your wrist ready, man. You just coming fresh off your Baja Rally win, and you're saying, you know what, I'm going to keep this roll going.
We're going to try. We're going to run a clean race today. And points, we're too far out for an overall championship, but we're right there for a third place championship, and so that's our goal today, is to run a clean race, get that third place points championship, and run the 3X next year.
That's huge, going for the 3X there. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot boiling down to this. So third in points in here with the best and the best, one of the fastest riders in the world. We're looking forward to watching this battle go down today on our drones.
Yeah, thanks a lot, brother. I appreciate it, Rat. We'll have some drinks down in La Paz.
That's right. We'll have a beer and a taco down there. Garrett, have fun, ride safe, and go fast, buddy. Here's our first rider off, 45X. Ardondo is going green, our first bike off the line for the 50th anniversary of the BFGoodrich Tires Baja 1000. It is on, Donovan, officially starting this race. Our next rider up into the gate, that Monster Energy backed Honda 450. Rider record on there, Mark Samuels. 1X on the line, ready to go green.
He's gonna take that 1X down a little ways down the course and to hand it off to Colton Udall, and they're gonna take off and chase that 45X. right, that 1X is just about ready to take off. Carlos is about ready to give him the go-ahead.
I'm going to go to the timing trailer and see if they have it.
And our next rider's online right there. Sitting second place in point right behind Ardondo right there. Riding that Honda 450. Mark Samuels on that 1X. Just seconds away, and here we go. 1X is off the line.
Now we got some racing going, Rat.
Our next rider off the line, it's a 44X, another Bremen-backed Honda 450. See you at the finish. Once again, these all the pro classes are going to be 1 minute intervals, so 1 minute in between each bike, and then when we get into the sportsman, we're going to be dumping them out of here at 30 seconds. But our next rider up right here, 44X, just seconds away. Look at those good-looking green score flags. The next thing he's going to see, hopefully, is our score checkered flags in La Paz.
And that'll be definitely a nice sight for sore eyes when you get down there and coming on that final mile and you know you're coming home to see that final checkered flag.
Look at that picture right there, Sal Fish. Great to see him out here. The 50th anniversary, we got our A team. Sal Fish there, our Grand Marshal, just definitely privileged to have him here. He's going to be dropping the green flag here for our third rider off the line. That is number 44X. Second year racing down here and going against the big boys.
Yeah, that 44X is really pushing for that third place position, so in the point standings.
Our next rider up, riding that KTM number 66X, a Creel. So that was Santiago Criel. Off the line, our next rider up. This guy fresh off his Baja Rally win just about a month ago. Number 33X, Garrett Pouchet. He said, you know what, I'm going to keep this roll going. I have what it takes mentally coming down here. Been doing a lot of miles down here, coming down here for that Baja Rally. One of those teams that just puts endless training in here and does his homework. And we're looking forward to seeing Garrett at the finish line here. So 33X, your next rider off the line. He's got that Bib Moose sponsor. Saw him doing his wheel and tire builds. Just the great technology that goes into some of these bikes, and to see these guys changing it up race to race. And he said he'd made a few changes, but going for this green flag once again, just a minute in between our pro riders here. Off the line for the 50th anniversary of the BFGoodrich Tires Baja 1000, and Garrett is locked and loaded, just a minute from going green here. Seconds away from dropping the green flag here on our 5th rider off the line here. This morning, it's morning now, Donovan. It's afternoon. Yeah, it's Thursday now. We just realized that. I just went to Thursday. We only have 3 more days of this.
3 more exciting, fun days that you can track it and follow us live. Watch some of that awesome drone footage.
And Garrett is offline. Our next rider to the gate, another one of those Honda riders on that 450. He's not starting, but that's a rider record of Ray Del Salio. We should have a couple of hours, just before 2, by the time we take all of our riders here and get them geared up and send them off our starting line here. So once again, rider record on that 3X, Ray Del Salio. They've been having some great battles with 45X and 1X starting in San Felipe. It's been one heck of a World Desert Championship Series this year. The first 3 rounds have just been insane, and it's even going to get more insane as we drop the green flag and take all these riders out into this beautiful Baja Desert to go to battle.
Yeah, Rat, we just have 3 more riders left in this Pro Moto Unlimited. There's 8 riders in this class. Right after this class takes off, we'll have the Pro Moto Limited.
That's right. That's going to be a lot of these guys be riding the 250s. It's 449 cc's and less, and this open moto is pretty much anything. You could ride a 50 if you want, but most of these guys will be riding the 450s, and some of them even riding some 650s. But just the weight ratio, the power ratio, these 450s and the 4-strokes just have come so far. It's great to see just the 450 being the big staple down here in Baja, when it used to be 600 and then into the 650s for years. So our next rider off, that's not him on it, but this is the 3X bike of Ray Del Salio going green. Is that and they're offline. So our next rider up is going to be number 55X. That's Carlin Dunn, riding that good-looking Husqvarna. Just to see these bikes all dialed in. Yeah, we got a smoker coming up, our first 2-stroke. Yeah, that's the 250 Yamaha right there.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of 2-strokes anymore these days, but it's so good to bring back that 2-stroke and have these guys ripping it down the Baja 1000.
That's right. It's always good to see. But our next rider locked and loaded right here. This is going to be our 7th rider in the Pro Moto Unlimited division. This is 55X of Carlin Dunn.
What's up? What's up, man?
How you doing? Hey, Ben, good seeing you. How's it going?
Love the commentating.
Good out here. A little bit. Yeah, so it's going to be real after this, man. Can't wait. I got here tomorrow.
They're all back there. All our guys are Ironman, so it's kind of crazy.
We'll catch up with you.
Right on. That'd be awesome. Grab that mic.
All right, so Carlin Dunn is going green right there. That's 55X. This is going to be our final Unlimited Moto rider here, number 35X. This is Nick Gust. Nick Gust on that KTM Stage Rage backed 450. ORS helps him out. He's got that tracking device on the back. Just about 30 seconds from going green here for the 50th anniversary. This is our final Unlimited Pro Moto rider here in the gate. You could just feel the tension. There's nothing like waiting for that green to drop. Once the green drops, you make that first corner, then you just kind of settle in. You get into the wash right there. But right now, it's all nerves. It all boils down to this, the start of the 50th anniversary Baja 1000. Looks like he stalled out there. A little cold, but it'll be warmed up in just a second right here. Our final Unlimited Pro Moto rider, 35X of Nick Gust. Now we're going to move into our Pro Limited division. Our first rider up, number 66X, riding that 350 KTM. Once again, a little smaller motor size. The limited is the 449 cc's or less, so he's opted for the 350. We talked about a lot of 250s. This is where you'll see a couple of the two-strokes. We'll talk about that in a minute, but your next rider up, he has been on fire all year. This is 160 Santiago Creel.
Guys, Pro Moto Limited is just getting ready to take off the line here and get their race going. Get started down there. I was just talking with Jim O'Neill real quick. He's telling me about his stories. He's going to run up here about 50 feet, switch the bike off, and then he's going to hop back on down by San Felipe and run down to Coco's Corner. And he said he has to hurry up and come back because his wife wants to head up to Colorado. So he's got a lot of miles ahead of him yet.
Definitely, and he's put in a lot of miles down here. He's bringing about our next rider up. That's Creel off the line, our first limited moto rider on that KTM 350 160X. So this is going to be our first two-stroke coming to the gate on that Yamaha 250 125X. That's Fernando Beltran. I actually raced against Fernando back in the day in this very class.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that two-stroker coming across the finish down to La Paz. That's for sure, Rat.
Nothing like the smell of some two-stroke in the morning, I'll tell you that.
Yes, that is very true.
Brings me back to the Supercross days. There's nothing like it when you can smell that Castrol just burning in there. And now you don't smell that. It's something I kind of miss for sure. But right now, this is going to be our second limited pro moto rider up. Got that Baja Designs. Back Yamaha 252 stroke. Fernando saying, hey, you guys, here's some smoke. That's why we call them the smokers. And the smoke is good. It's just lube and everything in there. He's got a long way around. The most brutal race we've ever had here for the 50th anniversary of the BFGoodrich Tire Baja 1000, and it's going to be a battle, and it's getting ready to commence. These guys are already going at it right now. We got 1X and Ardondo out there on 45X. It's already happening. There's already a war going out on course. Yeah, Dave, like you said, there's nothing like that smell, huh?
Oh, man, nothing like this two-stroke smell in the morning, man. You love it. You know, the great thing about these things, man, just the power band, these guys are going to have so much fun.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Just 5 seconds off our next rider to the line, our second limited moto 125X. That's Fernando Beltran.
All right, well, the two smokers on his way. We got one more two smoker.
Our
right
next
behind
rider
you,
up,
Matt.
last year's limited pro champion, Mr. Jim O'Neill. This guy has just bring down the efforts down here. Multiple bikes every year. He's just going to be starting the race here and handing it off. Since he's rider record, you need to either start or finish the race. So Jim O'Neill is locked and loaded. And you said he's just going to dump the bike off, and he's heading out.
No, he's going to go 50 feet, drop the bike off, then head down to San Felipe and grab it from there and go to Coco's Corner. Then from there, he's heading back up to Colorado.
Yeah, he's definitely got it figured out for sure. So it's always great to see O'Neill and his team and the effort that they bring down here to Baja. Just a first-class team, great guys, and he does so much for so many young guys coming down here and racing, bringing them up through the ranks. Just Jim O'Neill, just another one of those legendary riders in our sport.
Oh, definitely. I always promote the motocross, the motorcycle industry with the clothing line and the apparel, the safety gear from 1970. I mean, they've been doing it for 47 years. I think they got it dialed by now.
Definitely has it dialed. Got his O'Neill gear on, hooked up. I wonder where he got that.
It was funny when I was talking to him just a minute ago. He's like, yeah, I got my name on my hand so I don't forget who I am.
Yeah, and his boots and his shirt and his leathers, and he's hooked up. But yeah, just always great to see Jim down here. And it looks like he's ready for the water. This is, I don't know why, but he's got some tear-offs on it. He may be going into the wash, but he told you he is just going to do the 50-footer.
Yeah, he's doing that 50 first feet to get it started, and then he's going to take off and head down south.
And this is our next rider up, last year's limited pro champion, Jim O'Neill on 100X. Going green in 2, 1, and Jim is off. Santiago coming up again. He's got the two-bike effort in this class. If you're wondering why we're saying his name again, he was our first rider off the line on 160X. Now he did the dump. He came back in those fast house leathers, jumping on his second bike. That gives him 2 opportunities to win in this class. He wants to win. He's going for it.
Almost definitely are twice the riding capabilities that he's going to have to do.
So it looked like he just did the quick rider change here, but I would imagine maybe he's going to do his first stint on here, maybe ride to San Felipe. We'll see, but great to see Santiago with that 2-bike effort once again. We have the drones in the air. His second bike off the line, Santiago Creel right here, 66X. Just seconds away from going green here on the 50th anniversary of the BF Goodrich Tires Baja 1000. Good opportunity to thank some of our other sponsors: BF Goodrich Tires, King Shocks, Raceline, Axial, the El Rey Network, our official television partner. But right now, we got more important business. Santiago is going green, 66X.
Taking off on that KTM two-stroke. Looks like he's going down and making another rider switch real fast.
It looks like he does. He must be riding some other section. But two bikes, he's got some riding ahead of him. That's no doubt. Definitely a long way down to the end of the peninsula in La Paz.
They definitely got a good plan. You're watching him head down there. He's going to make that next left-hand turn. Then he's going to head straight on down. He's going to make a right and drop down into the wash. And then he's on after that.
So our next rider up, this is 107X, Ulysses Fierro. Ulysses on that KTM, rocking the Axo gear. We talked to him yesterday. He's happy to be here and be a part of the 50th.
Remember, at home watching this live, make sure you send out a message, text your friends, call them, send them an email. Whatever you got to do, let them know that they can go to scoreinternational.com. They can also download the Score International mobile app on their smart devices and watch the Baja 1000 live stream. And then also you can check out Score International on the YouTube channel. And when you're looking for that Score YouTube channel, type in some off-road.
So here we go, our
that'll
next
help you
rider across
navigate a
the
little
starting
quicker.
line, number 107X. That's Ulysses Fierro. Our next rider up, number 119X. That's Matt Miller. If you look on the Jumbotron, you can keep your eye up there, but we're going to keep some drone footage as these guys go through the wash.
When they hit down that wash, remember we got that crossover jump down there in the bottom of the wash that they're going to be sneaking up on. So at night it's going to look a little bit different than it does in the daytime. And a lot of times these guys lately have been taking off early in the morning, so now they're hitting this section at night. So it's a little bit different for them.
The calm before the storm. So here we are, our next rider off the start, 107X, that's Ulysses Fierro. This is going to be our final limited pro moto rider across the line, number 114X, Rodolfo Patron. One of those Monster Energy riders, another one of the KTM bikes sitting underneath him there. Out of here in Baja, California. And it's so good to look at these guys' eyes when they're up here. They have some gnarly terrain ahead of them, and it's just, like I said, the calm before the storm right here on the starting line for the BFGoodrich Tires Baja 1000.
Well, right after this, next class up online is the Pro Moto 30. Pro Moto 30 is the age bracket, 30 years old, 30 to 39. You can run that class.
But in the gate, our final rider in the limited pro division, number 14X. This is Rodolfo Patron. And he's going green. No worries. Yeah, Donovan, now we're moving into our Class 30 Pro Moto Division. First into the gate, locked and loaded, last year's overall champion down here in our Score World Desert Championship Series. This is 300X of Ryan Liebelt. Ryan's got that BajaBound.com, FMF, $31.30 Mika Metals backed Yamaha right here. He's got that good looking red, white, and blue Yamaha right here, and Liebelt's getting ready to go green. Our first Pro Moto 30 off the line. That's Ryan Liebelt. And our next rider to the gate, out of Sonora, number 303X of Luis Gomez. We talked to Luis during Contingency. He said, you know what, he's down here and he's going for a win for sure. So this will be our second Pro Moto 30 class off the line. Got those Kenda tires hooked up on that Honda 450. Just seconds away from going green. And this is 303X of Luis Gomez. Our next rider we're locking into the gate. This is number 360X. Santiago Creel, 3-bike effort out here. I thought it was 3, so he's on his 3rd start right here. I mean, this guy's an animal. He's going to be putting some time in on all 3 of these bikes. But being rider record, he has to be down here and actually start the race.
That is correct. And I wonder if he's going to run down 50 feet again and switch the bike off, or if he's going to take off this time.
I would imagine he's going to go all the way. I forgot about the 3rd bike. I forgot how many bikes these guys have, and we're seeing that a lot. You know, we talked about Cameron Steele. He's got the 2-truck effort with his name driver record as well. So Jim O'Neill, multiple teams down here. So these guys definitely want the win, and no matter what it takes, if they got to have 3 different teams. So our next rider off, this is Santiago Creel, number 360X.
And Brad, he is pulled off, and he's doing a rider change real quick down there.
Our next rider up, riding that electric start Yamaha 450. This is 306X of Scott Miller. Scott's got plenty of lights. His helmet is all locked. He's got LEDs everywhere. He knows what it's like down here in Baja and says, you know what, I want to be able to see where I'm going, especially this first 10 miles. There's going to be a lot of dust, a lot of people out on course, and just lots of things to navigate through. And a lot of these guys, they might have got to run down there a time or two over the last few days. But our next rider off the line right here, this is 306X of Scott Miller. Our next Pro 30 Moto rider into the gate. This is 305X of Curtis Janzik. Los Perdidos Racing, just seconds away from going green. This is once again number 305X. Curtis Janzik. And our final rider here in the Pro Moto 30 division. This is number 333X of Chad Thornton. And this is 333X of Chad Thornton, going green. Now we're going to move into our Pro 40 division. This is last year's overall champion. He's not on the bike right here, but rider record of that 400X bike is Hano Montoya. Hano right there leading in points right here going into round number 4 here on our World Desert Championship Series. This is the granddaddy. This is the biggest, baddest off-road race point to point anywhere on the planet where nobody sleeps in between. So definitely stoked to be a part of it. And we're not getting much sleep out here either, Donovan. But our next rider up, this is last year's champion, Class 40. He'll be getting on the bike later. We'll see him at the finish line. But rider record of the 400X bike of Hano Montoya. Up next on that fast line back Honda 450. They are here to go to battle, and he knows what to do. Let's hear it for 411X. This is Coley Potter. Coley's such a great team down here. He's got Dave Glass and the rest of the boys. Been down here doing some pre-run and putting work in. And we'll look forward to seeing these guys at the finish line. Your next rider in the gate in the Pro Moto 40 division. This is 411X of Coley Potter. he got it started. Good to see right here. 420X, our next rider into the gate right here. This is Mike Barnhill. Calm, cool, and collected. He's got this thing. A little nerve-wracking. I've actually stalled a bike before. We had electric starts on the line before, and you're just like stressed out. But it's all about being calm and our next rider off. That was 420X. That was Mike Barnhill.
It's always good. You see his team members and other competitors coming up to give him a hand, too. That's real, real professional.
So our next rider to the gate, another one of those Honda 450 riders. And you look at his seat right there, Donovan. It's about an extra 2-3 inches thick compared to some of the other seats. There's nothing more important than having your butt be in a good spot right there. Over 1,100 miles of the gnarliest terrain Baja has to offer. And our next rider in the gate, that is 407X of Bruce Anderson. And that's 407X of Bruce Anderson. Our next rider up, 477X. This is Francisco Beltran. He's got that good-looking Husqvarna. Husky's been coming down here strong the last couple of years. We've seen lots of them in the line and a lot more to come, but your next rider up out of Baja, Francisco Beltran. And that's 477X, Francisco Beltran going green. Once again, if you guys are just tuning in, we appreciate you guys watching our live show here with Score International Round 4 of the World Desert Championship Series, the 50th anniversary of the BFGoodrich Tire Baja 1000. And right now, we're working down through our Class 40 Pro Moto division. And our next rider up, this is going to be number 549X of Robert Gates. Excuse me. Of Bruce Anderson.
I like that you do a little run and hop. Sometimes it's a little tough to have all your gear and sit on that bike and wait.
That's 407X of Bruce Anderson.
Gear and hopped up and took off.
That's right. Our next rider up, number 410X, rocking that gold 50th anniversary edition Honda 450. This is 410X of Paul Thomas. This will be our final Pro Moto 40 class off the line right here. Once again, this is 410X of Paul Thomas.
Next up, we got the Pro Moto 50. These guys are 50 years old and plus, going out there and getting it done. And other than the Ironman, this is one of the largest classes in the Pro Moto.
And he was also last year's points champion, coming in here, sitting on the pole here for the 50th. This is number 500X of Marty Gomez. Marty's not on the bike, but I'm sure we'll see him in La Paz. Turning on his headlamp there. Says, you know what, we need some light going down through here. It's going to get crazy coming out of Ensenada. All the people down there in the wash. It is just about as Baja as it gets down here. So our next rider up. This is 500X rider record of Marty Gomez. And our next rider up on that Bear Valley West Maxxis Tires Honda 450. This is 149X of Robert Gates. So this is 549X of Robert Gates. Our next rider locked and loaded, another one of those good-looking Honda 450s with that 50th anniversary gold plastic kit, nothing cooler. 510X of Giovanni Spinelli. Gio's going to be down course a little bit. Griffin looks like he's going to be doing the starting duties here. But these guys are fast. They're here for the win. Gio said, you know what, we're bringing our gold plastics. We're here to go gold, baby. And we'll see him at the finish line as he brings it down to La Paz. But right now, Griffin's on the bike, locked and loaded, race ready for the 50th anniversary of the BF Goodrich Tire Baja 1000. That's 510X rider record of Giovanni Spinelli. Our next rider, we're locking and loading into the gate right here. This is number 556X of Don Blake. So our next rider on the line right here, that is 550X of Bill Seekers. And 550X is off. Our next rider up on that good-looking Malcolm Smith Fast House-backed Husqvarna, that's number 521X of Bill Wheeler. Talking to Malcolm Smith at our Legends Award ceremony the other night, and he was talking about how happy they are to have this two-bike effort down here for this year's 50th anniversary. But right now, the first bike off the line for them, and that Malcolm Smith-backed Husky. This is number 527. That was Bill Wheeler, 521X. Our next rider into the gate, number 505X. That's Daniel Argano. Getting ready to take that green flag. That's 505X of Daniel Argano. Our next rider into the gate, number 556X, that's Don Blake. Our next rider up, 515X, that's Sean Clack, riding for rider record Robert Creamers.
These guys are all the way from New Zealand coming to run this race right now in this 50 Pro class.
Yeah, great to see the Kiwis down here. Got that good-looking Honda 450 machine under him, applied, AME-backed Dunlop tires machine. Sean's going to be doing the starting duties here for Robert Creamers. And Sean is gone. That's 515X, rider record of Robert Creamers. Our next rider into the gate, and our final Pro Moto 50 rider here to leave the line this morning. That's 516X of Scott Atchison.
Right after that, Rat, we got the Pro Moto Ironman. We got 19 guys in this class. These guys are the ones that are gonna solo this all the way down. So we get to see them from La Paz, or from Ensenada all the way down to La Paz. And we got 19 of these guys that are going to Ironman it coming up right after the Pro Moto 50.
That's right. This is our last Pro Moto 50 rider. Number 516X of Scott Atchison. Now the Ironmen are making their way to the starting gate. Right now, your points lead. That's factory Suzuki rider out of Rosarito, Baja California, number 721, the Ironman, Jose Carrasco. See you guys. See you, LeBlanc, man. See you there. This is a new sponsor for him, this Team Suzuki ride this year. He said he's really proud to be on it. Suzuki of Mexico stepped up, helped him out. 7-Eleven. He's got some big backing right here. So let's hear for our first Ironman off the line, 721, Jose Carrasco. Oh, look who's up next. That's right, the Viking. Last year he came out here and he won the overall Pro Ironman. Won the 1,000. This guy's been unstoppable. He's been doing some rallies basically all over the planet through the year. So this is the first time with him down here with us this year on the World Desert Championship Series, round number 4. He said, you know what, I'm here to win the Baja 1000 again, second year in a row. Let's hear it for number 729, Viking Mike Skirkis. Pretty cool when he came and accepted his award last year. He got this custom suit made. He had a wolf on it. I don't know if you saw that. I mean, Viking Mike brings it. He's just a first-class guy and hardcore. So our next rider off the line, our second pro Ironman, 721X, or excuse me, 729X, Viking Mike Skirkis.
He's definitely going to be one of the guys to really watch in this Ironman class too. He's fit and ready to go.
Yeah, that guy, he's just always riding. He's always somewhere. Like I said, a lot of international rally racing, and yeah, just had a great year under his belt, and he said he's coming back and wants a score win. Our next rider up, this is 778X of Mike Crawford.
The fans are getting nuts down here at the start line of the 50th annual Baja 1000. Now you guys remember back home watching this, checking in, these Ironmen got to ride the full distance, 1,134 miles. Some local bikers revving their bikes up, showing their enthusiasm for their fellow riders out here.
At 778, that was Mike Crawford off the line. Our next rider into the gate, number 775X, that's Tanner Janeski. Him and his dad's going to be soloing it. We'll see his dad's going to be coming up in a few bikes right here. Tanner up here locked and loaded in the starting gate for the 50th. And that was Tanner Janeski right there, 775X. And our next Ironman locking into the gate, number 711X, TV in Buzan.
Go see Larry.
And this is our next Ironman, number 711X, TV in Buzan. In Buzan. Sponsored by Team Tequila Racing, another one of those locos over here. But look at this sheepskin seat. This guy looks like something Viking Mike would have going right there.
He's got the sheepskin rolling in the leather backpack back there. He's ready to rock and roll. He's an Ironman. I don't know if I go mess with him, though.
Hey, I'll tell you what, when you're Ironman, there's nothing more important than a seat. You got to have a good seat, no doubt about it. Our next rider up, this is 777X. This is Wayne Schlosser. Yeah, the Ironman, they're different animals, man. You got to be tough to come down here. There's no rougher way around this course than the Ironman and on a dirt bike. And kudos to every one of these guys out here for coming out and going against this grueling over 1,100-mile course. So this is our next Ironman to the gate, number 777X, Wayne Schlosser. Our next rider up on that good-looking Eurotech machine, number 712X, that's Eddie Meek.
Eddie's got the sleeves pulled up, elbows out, he's ready to go. I was looking at that, and man, that first Palo Verde tree or mesquite tree you come across, it's going to leave a little bit of a mark. What do you think, Rat?
I would say, yeah, that doesn't look like a good idea. Maybe he's just going to start and hand the bike off. We'll see.
Oh, but, he's Ironman and he's got to run it.
Yeah, what am I thinking? I was trying to give him an excuse for having those exposed there, but he knows what he's doing out here in the pro Ironman division. So this is our next rider up, 712X of Eddie Meek.
Maybe he knows he's got to go down through the wash and catches a lot of water. That way he can pull his sleeves down and he'll be dry again.
And Meek is going green. Our next rider up, the Ironman 706X. This is Kevin Daniels. So 19 Ironman, that's huge this year. I mean, we haven't had a turnout like that in the Ironman division. Everybody wanting to say they claim this 50th anniversary Ironman win, so there's going to be some battles in this class alone, one of our largest classes.
Oh, most definitely there'll be some battles there on this one, and one of these guys gets to stand on the top of the podium and have the bragging rights, though, that he won the Baja 1050th anniversary.
And that was Eddie Meeks, 712X, and our next rider locking into the gate. Or 7-6, excuse me, Kevin Daniels. Our next rider is 714X. This is Lawrence Janeski. This is Tanner's dad. Father and son team down here, both Ironman in it. And that's got to be pretty good to know you have, you got someone behind you. So they're kind of teamed up. Either of them have problems. I'm sure they're gonna be in touch and be able to work with their pit strategies and make it happen. But great to see a father and son team down here getting it done in the Ironman class for sure.
Oh, definitely. And they've had some conversations over the kitchen table of who was going to win and who was going to come in front. And I bet there's a bet lying at home somewhere of somebody having to do some sort of chore or some sort of job.
And he is going green. This is 714X of Lawrence Janeski. This next rider riding that 450 Yamaha WR. This is number 719X of Kelly Aldride. The cool part, he's got his Arizona plate. I bet if we talked to him, he might have even rode that bike here. You never know. He's an Ironman. I've heard things crazier, no doubt about it. And we have Richard Jackson. We'll talk to him a little bit later. He's down here, but I remember him riding to the race, racing the Baja 1000 and riding the bike home.
Yeah, I remember that story. That was pretty phenomenal. And he came down by himself and camped on the beach.
Yep, and that's 719X, Kelly Aldride. Our next Ironman to the gate, this is number 757X of Rick Thornton. Yeah, he's got that Chris Haynes back, Honda 450, looking dialed in. Chris Haynes just does so many great adventures down here and tours, and great to see him back some of these riders. He might have hooked this guy down here on one of his tours. But moments away, if you're just joining us, we're still in our Ironman division. We're about halfway through our motos and our quads, and it's just getting all started here. We got our four-wheel vehicles, 10 a.m. kicking off with our trophy trucks. Robbie Gordon, that #1 qualifier on pole.
And right behind Robbie, Rob Mack, with the three wins in a row, the Baja 1000.
And that was number 757X of Rick Thornton. Our next rider up out of Lake Powell. He's got that 718X bike hooked up. This is Gary Sparks. We still have 8 more Ironmen to send off the line here. Right now, this next guy, 718X. That's Gary Sparks going green. Our next rider up, this is 715X of Jeff Benrud. Jeff's been down here racing for years. Good to see him in the Ironman division down here going for that 50th win. And this is 715X of Jeff Benrud. Our next Ironman coming to the gate, that's 740X of Bo Huckins. Huckins had a great year down here racing with us. And he said he is ready for this 50th. He said, you know what, it's been gearing up to this. Over 1,100 miles of the gnarliest terrain. Beautiful. Baja has to offer, and these guys are Ironman in it. That is as cool as it gets in my book. You see all these guys are dialing in, making sure their Stella tracking device, their GPSs, lights, so much technology into these bikes.
That definitely helps them out quite a bit. Those Stellars it's something nice to have nowadays, and really lets you know when there's somebody coming up behind you.
And this is 740X of Bo Huckins. On that open campaign Honda 450, number 707X, that's James Hall. Gotta love that electric start, Donovan. These guys, some guys still kicking it, but nothing better than to just be able to hit that button, especially if you're tired and you come into a pit or something. Sure makes it nice.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And if you look on the 727, he's got tape lined out with mile markers on it. You see that? That's how he's gonna. That's one of his devices that he's gonna use to navigate his way through the corners. Those are his fuel stops.
Those are his stops. Yeah, he's got him dialed in on his GPS. He'll tell him where he's at, and he kind of knows where his guys are at. So, a lot of logistics down here. And the next rider off, that was 7. So our next rider into the gate, number 727X, that's Chris Warwick. Our last rider off, James Hall, he is on course. A handful of our Ironmen here. That's 727X of Chris Warwick. And we got the Warrior builds in boys in the house. Ironman, and this is 781X of Christopher Colmenero. Love this Warrior built Monster Energy back team. Just a great group of guys. These guys all veterans. And just a few more Ironmen here to send off. And this is 781X Christopher Colmenero, Warrior built. So our next rider up, number 756X, John Hoddle, StanfordVet.org. Great to see some of that TMD back. And this is number 756X of John Hoddle. So our next rider up, 750X. This is Dennis Rogers.
That's the RS.
This will be our last Ironman locked and loaded in the gate this morning. This is 750X of Dennis Rogers. And Rogers is off. Now we're going to move into our Pro Moto division right here. Last year's class champions right there. That's number 600X of Mark Hawley. But I believe that is Andy Kirker on the bike starting this morning. They got that Tivoli Racing factory Honda 450. Liet Back Machine, ZLT. They got some great sponsors. Going for another championship right now, sitting right there in points. Going for their second consecutive World Desert Championship title here. The bike of Mark Hawley. Love to see those guys down here. And this is number 600X, and that's Andy Kirker. Our next rider up, it's been a few years, but nobody has more Baja races on a motorcycle than Richard Jackson right here. 609X, a rider record, is Donald Lewis. He came out and won in San Felipe and had a great time, and he said, you know what, we're coming back for the 1,000, and I'm bringing Richard Jackson with me. We talked about Richard, the guy, he's the guy I was talking about earlier that would have a plated bike, come down here, race the Baja 1000 and ride it home, and a lot of the times be on the podium. So Richard Jackson, a legend in Baja racing, always on a bike. He's just always stuck with that two-wheel. And this guy, it's so good to see him out here and to see him back on the bike here for the 50th. So this is Richard Jackson riding on that 609X bike of Donald Lewis. Now we're going to move into our Pro Quad division. This is number 13A of Sid Sanchez. Sid's had a heck of a season, going for that overall championship and that overall win here, the 50th anniversary of the BF Goodrich tire. Baja 1000, legendary stuff. Another one of your locals out of Baja, California right here, Sid knows how to ride. He knows Baja, and he'll be our first Pro Quad off the line.
Mike Beckler, he's forward and I'm jumping on. Okay.
And that's 13A of Sid Sanchez off the line. This next rider out brings this four-wheeler, Can-Am Kenda-backed machine. This thing is something that you would go hunting on, but it does really good down here in the Baja Desert. Four-wheel drive. And our next rider up, that's 2A of Don Higby. He says he's got his Can-Am hooked up better than he's ever had it. Finished every race with us this year. And he's going for that win right here in the Pro Quad division on that factory back KTM. This is number 2A of Don Higby. And Higby is going green. Our third and final Pro Quad rider here. This is 3A, Carlos Mendez Jr., another one of your locals out of Baja, California. He's got the Mike's Moto Serviso Uni air filter back quad. Looking good, all blacked out for the 50th anniversary here. Starting to move into the quads, Dave. It's pretty exciting out here on the starting line.
Oh, definitely. You know, it's so great to see these quads out there, especially, you know, seeing that Can-Am. That thing was just incredible. Four-wheel drive. He gets to the silt beds. He's going to be doing good.
That's what it's all about. People don't realize how gnarly it is. I mean, we do as Baja racers, but yeah, he'll definitely be stoked to have that four-wheel drive on that Can-Am. So this is our final Pro Quad off the line. This is 3A of Carlos Mendez Jr. Now we're going to be diving into our Sportsman Motorcycle division. And our first rider up, number 283X. This is Miguel Pina.
A lot of Japanese riders today. That's awesome.
Miguel's got that Sammy's backed Honda 450 hooked up. And this is going to be your first Sportsman motorcycle off the line, number 283X, Miguel Pena. Our next rider to the gate right there on that good-looking Yamaha 450. He's got the Focus, Labor Max, Night Rider backed machine right there. This is number 223X of Mike Metler. So our second Sportsman off the line, this is 223X of Mike Metler. There's a lot of kickstands in this Sportsman division. I see a lot of kickstands. Great to see him out here to come down in the Sportsman. I mean, look how many racers we have. I mean, one of our larger classes too. People down here, a lot of people have been coming down here. Some new guys as well. So
yeah, we have 27 of these Sportsmen in this class. So really good to see a big number like that show up.
So our next rider up, riding that Yamaha 450. This is number 244X of Marcos Medina. Another one of your Baja locals down here. Lots of locals down here racing, so make some noise if you love your Baja racers. That's Marcos Medina. Looks like we have our first Japanese rider. We got a handful of those riders that came all the way over. Right here sitting on that 251X. That's Yukio Higuchi. They had a pretty big team, I think six plus riders out here. It's great to see. You know, the Japanese have always been coming down here for years. The last couple years, maybe just a couple riders, but this is a big influx for the 50. Lots of them down here. Everybody going for that 50th golden win, no doubt. So people from all over the world.
Yeah, most definitely. And those guys come down, and they're just so excited to be here and so excited to be racing the motorcycles. They have such a great personality, such a great attitude about everything that's going on. And they definitely love coming down and meeting all the friendly people down here in Baja.
That's right, and he's off the line, number 251X, Yukio Higuchi.
He had a little bit of a rough start there, but he got her off. He's going now.
And our next rider up, number 240X, Tetsui Hirasawa. So your next Japanese rider off the line, this is number 240X, Tetsuo Hirasawa. Hirasawa is off. Our next rider up, number 218X. This is Greg Willits.
Got some awesome drone shots. These guys heading down the street, making that final left turn down to the wash. They'll make after you just made that left, you'll go down to the wash, make the right, head down the wash and hit that crossover jump down the bottom, and they're on after that.
It is on right now, and our next rider up just seconds away from his start. If you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in. We are in our bikes and quads today. Right now, this is our Sportsman division. We're rounding out our last class of the bikes, and our Sportsman quads coming up next. But right now, Gary Willits going green, number 218X of Greg Willits. In our next Sportsman rider, he's got that SDR factory-backed Honda. Let's hear it for 292 of Kenneth Skillern. Some great footage. Carlos Corral getting the starting done right here, just about 5 seconds away, and Skillern's going to be going green. 2, 1, and that's 218X of Greg Willits. Hayashi, yeah, that's good. So our next rider up, another one of those guys that made it all the way from Japan. This is number 279X, Tomoki Hayashi. And this is 279X, Tomoki Hayashi.
Catching here another
Our next
cool shot
rider
of that
lining up,
drone.
this is 231X of Nick Saro. Nick Saro right here, 231X, our next rider into the gate. Looks like he's got some Red Bull sponsorship. Baja Designs. Got that good looking KTM 450 locked and loaded into the gate. And that was Nick Saro on course 231X. That London Racing Honda 450 up next, number 241X. That's Jack London. And this is 241X of Jack London.
All right, having a good time, getting some good drone footage, making that left-hand turn, heading on the way down. Gonna make another left, make a right down into the wash, hit that crossover, and they're through the wash.
That's right, and our next rider up, number 266X of Cody Schaefer. Got that Dig Deep Racing Session Rugged Radios backed Honda 450. Corralejo Tequila, some good backing right there. He'll definitely be at the finish line. And this is number 266X of Cody Schaefer.
Love it when these guys rip it out. We catch that drone footage and they're just cracking on that rev limiter. They're just giving it everything they got coming around.
Our next rider up, number 224X, Augusto Bedoya.
Good times hanging down here at Ensenada, 1:30 in the morning. What better place to be?
Oh yeah, we're just hanging out with all our family and off-road friends right here. It's some good stuff. Still more bikes, and we have the Sportsman Quads coming up, and that's going to wrap it up tonight after we send these guys off until 10 a.m. for the four-wheel vehicles with those trophy trucks. So your next rider off their 224X, Augusto Bedoya. And another one of those Japanese riders stepping up right here. Number 243X, Tsuyoshi Inu.
Excited to get off the line right now. He's just super pumped right now.
And this is number 243X, Soishi Inoue.
He's whoa, getting a little sideways there coming around that first corner. It's always a little exciting. You know, we got a little bit of condensation on the ground, so it could get a little slippery on this asphalt.
Our next rider up, another one of those Japanese rider, number 219X, Hisashi Kitamura. And Hisashi is off, number 219X. Our next rider up, number 232X, Giovanni Perez.
This is another one of those warrior-built riders coming down there for that great foundation that they work on for the military vets.
That is, it's great to see these heroes come down and team up with the Warrior Build guys and come down and race Baja. It's always a pleasure to have that Monster Energy team around, and they have a bunch of riders.
Yeah, these guys they're all a bunch of great guys. They get involved, and all of them are hands-on no matter what project they're working on, so they always got a good foundation going.
And that was 232X, Giovanni Perez on the Warrior Built bike.
He had to pull himself, he had to rip about a 60-foot wheelie down there.
And he's got a 4-leaf clipper for somebody, rest in peace.
We got 249X out of Anchorage, Alaska. We talked to him during Contingency. This is Darren Beard right there. He's got that Chupacabros team on the side of there. We all know racing down here in Baja, it's about nights like this when those Chupacabras come out of the woodwork, no doubt about it. So this is Darren Beard, 249X. And here's 249X, the Alaskan, Darren Beard. $257 on that Spunky's 450 KTM. That's Mike Frick.
All right, looks like Mike ready to go off. He's getting the countdown. 3, 2, 1, and we are green, green, green. There we go.
Nice, great drone footage they got there. Heading down that street, making that final left and down into that right and down into the wash.
Yeah, you can see the lights flashing down there. That's the entrance right there to the wash that Donovan's talking about, and always an exciting section there. And looks like up next, Chris Welch on the 208X. Seeing Recluse, got one of those Recluse clutches in there, makes it a lot easier to ride. That KTM looking good.
Yeah, Dave, if you notice, he's got like a wind scarf Velcro to his helmet. You don't see that much in the motorcycles right now, so hopefully that's going to help him out. And it looks like he could rip that thing off at the next pit stop and get rid of it, so that might help keep him a little bit warmer in this cold night air.
Yeah, it's a good point out there you just brought up. You know, when you get moving there, it's very tempered where we're at right now, but when you get going 60, 70 miles an hour, it's going to get a little brisk, that's for sure. .254X up next. Tyler Harvey on the Honda. The 450X machine there. All right, next rider off. Up next to the line, the 280, Sato Norio. Look at that old school on the old XR.
Yeah, those guys came down from Japan and rebuilt that thing from ground up. So it's basically an old school 98 bike rebuilt to brand new right now to race the 50th Baja 1000.
It's all about the new parts. You know, those XRs over the years have worked so well. See Roger Norman down here helping out the 220, getting a little overheated here. That's Luis Pena. Little steam coming off that machine. He needs to get that thing going, Donovan. You know, that thing's sitting there overheating just a little bit.
Yeah, you give him just a minute and get some of that cool air, and that'll help bring that hot temperature down. Now, you might look at it as a concern, but once he gets going, he should be fine.
Yeah, I say halfway down that straightaway, he's going to be cooled off there. Well, the 220, Luis Pena, looking to get that bike cooled off here very shortly. He's got about 30 seconds here, and he can get that thing moving.
Yeah, just with that little splash that Roger Norman gave him seemed to help him out a little bit. So good teamwork for everybody down here, all the course workers and people behind the scenes too, helping out to make sure these guys can get off the line and get down this race course.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was trying to help it cool down or he was blessing it with holy water.
Hopefully it was winning water.
Winning water, there you go. Good point. All right, looks like Carlos is going to get that countdown. Luis Pena up next. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pena's off and running. That bike said, thank you very much. I need to cool down.
Yeah, he's also got a smile on his face ear to ear right now, too. He's like, finally, I'm out of here.
Great shot on there. You can see the bike running good there, probably cooling off as he goes down, heads down into that long stretch, takes him into the wash.
Yeah, that first set of flashing lights you've seen right there, the red and blues, that's actually another street that comes across. There's a sheriff sitting there keeping traffic from running in and catching these guys. It's a road closure right there.
Donovan, you know, it gets really dark down there when the lights are all surrounding here. You jump down that wash. It gets a little dark down there with all these people who usually line up along there at nighttime. It gets a little daunting.
Yeah, not only that, when they pre-ran that during the day, it was dry. The tide has came in and moved out, so that water has moved out. Right when you take that right-hander down into the wash, there's that canal. There's a little small canal off to your left that has some water, and it can migrate out. And then you go over the crossover jump, and that water from the tide comes up from there too and brings back out. So there's some new things to see that you didn't see during the day when you pre-ran this.
Yeah, definitely changed it up. Good point there. Really to stay aware of your situation down there. A lot of these riders are going to be surprised they get a little too low. It might get a little wet.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen it come all the way across the course down there after that crossover jump, being about 6 to 8 inches thick, and it is not fun to start your race, and first thing you're soaking wet, and now you've got 1,134 miles to go.
Definitely makes for an interesting ride for sure. Up next, the 228 getting ready to go off. That is going to be Scott McIntosh. He's got his plate on there for that Pure Michigan. coming all the way from Michigan. He's got the Baja 6 plate on there. How cool is that?
Well, what's really cool is the thing's still registered and had current tags on it.
Yes, that's right. You know he's riding that around town. Especially if you got the Baja race numbers on there. He's going to go back home and wear that badge with pride.
Yeah, then he gets to go around and tell everybody, no, it's Baja, not Baja.
Baja, that's right. Don't you know?
Oh, yeah, don't you know there, Dave? Hey, don't crack it. I'm from Minnesota, so I can sling the lingo.
Well, we're seeing the next rider behind McIntosh going off. We got the 214 is going to be Devin Smith. Devin on that Yamaha, it looks like. Now you've seen a lot of the riders as they're getting ready to stage up to the starting as Carlos counts them down. A little water there. You can see they're trying to avoid that. Trying to get their tires a little dry as they get ready to go. The 290X Roach Racine, and I see the Canadian flag on the side. It's one of our brothers from up north. Can I say you take off, you hoser, eh?
Take off, man.
So great, all the international riders that have come. We've seen riders from Japan, a lot of local riders here for sure, and it's just so great to see the community. It's a worldwide community comes here to knock this 50th anniversary Baja 1000 off their bucket list. A lot of these sportsmen that we're talking about. I do see the Sportsman Quads coming up next.
Yeah, we got a handful of these guys, and then we've got those the 102A. Those guys are tough. These quads, like, they look like a showroom, but actually these guys have gone in and done a lot of custom work and did a lot of rebuild.
Well, another rider off there, the 286, Roy Bohina. Well, as I'm looking at Roy here and trying to figure out, it says Soledad Regional there. Another one of those Chris Haynes machines. Chris Haynes, you know, in those Baja trips, he does a lot of those, does all the setup on a lot of these bikes too. He knows how to set these up and get ready for Baja. Roy Bohina, he'll be up next. Carlos has got the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are green. Donovan looks like the last bike getting ready to go off. Carlos Agundez on the 289. Looks like one of the Cabo-sponsored bikes there, one of the local law firms down there, hooking them up. Gotta say he's a local. He's got the Ricky Johnson sticker on there. We did a little out of Ricky Johnson school riding there. Ricky, of course, has taught a lot of these guys in the desert. So great to see all these names and legends on some of these bikes and they've worked with them. There we go. The last bike is off the line. Now it's time for the Sportsman Quads. We got 16 of those.
Quads?
Yeah.
So our first rider up in Sportsman Quad Division, this is 182A, Carlos Jimenez. One of your local riders here, got that Dirty Racing 450 hooked up. This is your first Sportsman Quad across the line. This is where it all starts. This is where you get your feet wet down here in Baja. Come down and race these sportsman classes. And look how big it is. Even our quads, we have a handful of them. And our Sportsman motorcycles, one of our larger classes. Great to see the influx of new riders coming down here.
Oh, most definitely. And these guys in these quads definitely have to work it to get it through. But Advantage is they can sit down just a little bit more, but they got to fight those machines to keep off.
So our next Sportsman Quad into the gate right there. He's got some great custom work done, some fabrication on this quad. You don't see a lot of custom tanks. He found one that's big enough. I don't know, that thing's well over 5 gallons. But this is your next rider up, number 134A of Charles Lavislette.
One cool thing about these quads is he's got his Nerf bars on the side. He's got a little extra room for some extra tools, like a little toolbox off to the side.
Definitely some prep going into La Violette right here, 134A. 3, 2, 1, and we're going green. Wow, he almost ran over Carlos's toes right there. Oh, now we have our team from Spain, number 173 from España. 173A, oh, this is Miguel Oranz. They come down here, they do a lot of racing. We talked to Miguel, and to have their whole team out here, you see they've got their Spanish flag they're holding up, representing here at the starting line of the 50th anniversary. A big deal, especially when you come from that far away.
Oh yeah, definitely a big deal. These guys are super excited. They're doing some fist bumps and slapping each other's on the backs and just get ready to go. And they traveled a long ways and they deserve to be here.
And all the way from Spain, 173A. This is Miguel Aranz. Yeah, so 144A, this another one of those Alba riders. Alba Racing there out of Santee. They do such great things in the whole UTV and as well as the quads, and they definitely hook up and make some fast motors. So our next rider up, number 144A, this is Andrew Francis.
What's really cool about his machine is he's got the lead nav iPad on there for his navigation. If you guys haven't seen those, check out those lead navs. They give you like a real live picture, three-dimensional photo to help follow this course along. So definitely check that out. So that's kind of cool to have that on those quads.
And this is 144A, Andrew Francis, going green. Our next rider up on the Grizzly, another one of those four-wheel drive ATVs. This is 102A of Tristan Dietrich.
Yeah, he's been planning this for about 2 years now, getting this machine built, getting it ready to come down here and race the Baja 1000. I was talking to him earlier. They tore that whole machine apart, did some custom mods underneath to help the chassis and the frame. So he's ready to go. I believe he's going to be down at La Paz.
Yeah, and we talk about how nice that four-wheel drive is, like Dave was saying earlier. You know, to have the trophy truck stepping up and a couple of those guys going four-wheel drive, it just shows how gnarly it's getting down here. And talk about the trophy trucks now with those BFGoodrich KR3s 40-inchers. They're just getting deeper. But our next rider off the line, that's 102A, Tristan Dietrich. Lots of those big four-wheel drive ATVs here in the Sportsman division. And our next rider up, this is 199A of Paul Marcotte. You see the setups, there's so many different setups, you know, especially when you have something like this. You see they're constantly making changes to these things, especially something that's not really purposely built for racing. This is more in the outback, doing some hunting, you know, get you anywhere type of machine. But these Sportsmen's come a long way, and they got them down here racing in Baja.
like you said, they'll get you anywhere, even from Ensenada to La Paz, through the toughest terrain in the country, in the world.
That's right, and this is 199A of Paul Marcotte.
Dude, he left super hot on that thing, too. He wheelied it for about a good 30 feet off the line.
He loves it. He's getting it done in that four-wheel drive machine right there. So our next rider up right here, 148A. This is Alejandro Amador. Alejandro's got that Slime Baja Designs uni-backed Honda 450 quad hooked up. He's got the good-looking Maxxis razors on there all the way around. Looks like he's got his setup pretty dialed in here for the Sportsman division, and what a big class it is. And this will be your next Sportsman Quad going across the starting line. This is 148A of Alejandro Amador. Now your next rider up, last year's overall World Desert Champion, points winner in the Sportsman Quad division. This is number 100A of Eddie Barrino. I don't know if he gets another championship this year. He's going to have to step up to that Pro Quad division, Donovan. I mean, you could only win so many times when you're down here. Definitely, I bet Eddie has his sights on a win here for the 50th.
Oh, for sure. And then, yeah, that'd be nice to see him step up into the Pro class, and I think he could do it. I think he has a good chance to win in that, too, or being a definite top competitor.
Definitely one of the fastest riders here in the sports, and these guys will all be gunning for him. So once again, last year's champion off the line right here, 100A, that's Eddie Barrino.
Yeah, Eddie's down there doing a quick little rider change, so they've got a plan ahead. So Eddie did that quick hop off and switch out with his co-rider.
So our next rider up, riding for Elka Shocks, JRY Edge, number 109A on that Honda 450. This is Juan Dominguez from Baja California. What's up, buddy? Good, man. Hey, good. Looks right here. So our next rider to the gate right here. Got that Rada media machine looking good, all red, powder coated underneath. It's definitely style points on this rig. Got those Jimbo graphics that one of the dominators down here in graphic design. Check out Jimbo if you need anything, shirts, hats, full wrap design. But this is 103A of Oscar Espinoza. Oscar Espinoza, 103A.
He's doing a quick little rider change down there. They're going to swap out their riders and head on out and probably move them down onto San Felipe.
Just 7 more Sportsman Quad riders to leave the line here this morning, Donovan. Our next rider up here, he's got some great graphics. Another one of the Team Zavala. This is number 116A, Adolfo Loya.
Adolfo, he really knows how to get it done. He knows how to get through this Baja Desert. I think he's going to be one to watch for down in La Paz.
Another one of the local teams down here out of Baja. Locked and loaded. Let 3, 2, 1. And Adolfo is off. 116A. Yes, Dave, what? All right, our next rider up is 120A. This is Kelly Ramirez. And that was 120A of Kelly Ramirez. We are winding down, just a handful left. Our next rider into the gate right there, that's 145A. Havani Marquez. All the way from Culiacan. So let's hear it all the way from Culiacan. 145A, Giovanni Marquez. Two, one, and he is going green. This next rider must have been a late entry, number 195. It looks like Pedro Loya. Our next rider up, number 156. Must have been a late entry as well. He's not on my list. But he's got those good-looking 50th anniversary graphics on there. Got the Mexican flag. It looks like he's from down here in Mexico as well. But your next rider off, just a handful yet here in your Sportsman Quad division. This is 156A. And 156 is off. Our next rider up, he is on our list, number 123A, Waldemar Ortiz. He's got that Zorro Racing Honda 450 locked and loaded. He's got more of those 50th anniversary graphics. This is number 123A, Waldemar Ortiz. Finally making it to our last Sportsman Quad, our last quad or bike across the line here tonight. Driving another one of those good-looking Can-Am four-wheel drive Wild Power Sports Bag, number 119.8. That's Rusty Botza. Lots of fans out here. Rusty's crew is just pumped up. They're loving it out here. They said, you know what, they want to see that Can-Am make it all the way down to La Paz for some tacos. Once again, this is our last bike across the line here to start. Our four-wheel vehicles will be kicking that off at 10 a.m. Robbie Gordon and that 77 Speed Energy Bag Trophy truck sitting on pole, your fastest qualifier. That's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, just about 8 hours away from right now. But right now, our last quad across the starting line right here. This is 119.8 of Rusty Botza. And a great shot of him making his way out right there, making that left. You saw all the nerves up here, people all nervous, but once you go across that green flag, it all is behind you right there. Salida making their way down, and we could probably catch this quad as he goes under that good-looking race line arch right here. Oh, just a little ways, about another 100 yards, he was going to be able to drop down into the infamous wash there. So we're going to continue some live footage here. We're not sure if we're going to go to some of our drone footage here.
He's on the wash. He's on the wash. Are we going to follow the last guy onto the wash a little bit?
I have to yank the cable that's sending the drone signal and put it into live tracking. So I want you to toss to these guys to go live tracking. What sucks is it can't happen simultaneously. We'll go to the wide cameras on the tower. Yeah, it's
All right, it looks like we're going to try to check out some live tracking. Got to switch some things over and let you know where all your riders are. Once again, if you are on the app or on our Score International page, you could check it out and find out where these riders are and how they're doing, where they are out on course. So some good things happening with our Score app and our scoreinternational.com page. So don't miss any of that action. You could follow your riders, track your guys, see where they're at. We're going to be bringing you, there's some, looks like one of our wide shots right there of our drones coming in. You could see right down there. We're going to go to our live tracking, I believe. We're going to get that changed over and let you know where everybody is. Once again, the four-wheel vehicles are going to be taken across the line here at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, just 8 hours from now. So we're probably going to go try to get a little nap in and come back and get this coverage. We have all of our drone pilots. They're not napping. They're out there trying to catch the coverage. And we're going to wait till daylight before we really start showing you more of the drone footage. Pretty tough to just see the lights cruising through the desert at night. So should be starting that after the trucks. But momentarily, we're going to get this thing underway and put some tracking up and see where all these riders and drivers are.
We're just going to get like 10 minutes of tracking.
Can we turn off the speakers? I need to turn off the speakers.
You just want to do a quick...
Rafi, please turn off the speaker on the right. It's all the way up.
Wires up.
Wires up.
Even wires up. I'm holding it in my fucking hand. All right, Rat, we got everybody off and ready to go. We're doing some little bit of changes here so we can call out a little live stream tracking on where those bikes are. The cool thing is the 45X right now is about, the 45X is about race mile 77 miles, 0.6, and then right after that we've got the 44X. He's rolling it out. He's right about race mile 75.6. And then right after that, we got the 1X that's right around race mile 47.2. So these guys are 40. He's 74.2. We're looking at a small monitor right now, so give me just 1 second. But we're trying to get some things changed around, and here in a minute we'll let Dave, he's going to call some of these race miles out and let you guys know where these guys are running right now out here. And if you want to know, you can always check the live streaming on the on the scoreinternational.com website. Then you can check the live feed through scoreinternational.com and then the Score International mobile app. You can also do that too as well. And if you're going to the YouTube channel, you can also find the live streaming there. When you're at that YouTube channel, just punch in a couple off-road racing, and that'll help you navigate right into the location to watch the streaming live. And like Rat was saying earlier, we've got the pro trucks, the trophy trucks, getting ready to shake off the line at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So we'll be kicking that off. So you've got plenty of time to let people know what's going on, where to get it found out, so you can always check back in for some live. But we got Dave here. He's going to give you some rundown on some of these riders right now.
Thanks, Donovan. I'm looking at tracking, of course. We saw the start order early on. We saw Francisco Arredondo take off first, and it was Mark Samuels in the 1X who was second off. But from what I understand, Mark did pass it off there. He's going to fill in a little bit later on. The 44X able to get by him. So the running order we're looking right now, according to the times that they did, this is the way they went off there. Francisco Arredondo, looks like Justin Morgan, Mark Samuels. And if you folks follow along with the app and see the live tracking, you're going to see their numbers there. We're going to see where they're in. Right now, our leader out there who went off first is going to be 77.4 miles into it. So as we take a look here a little bit more, see the live tracking's up on the screens for you folks. So as I take a look here a little bit longer, we got Mark Samuels sitting third. It's a little blown out right here. It's hard to see. Oh, perfect. All right, we got the laptop in my lap, literally. So it's going to be Santiago Creel, 66X, sitting in fourth right now. Garrett Poncher. And then you got Ray Del Segalio on the 3X. Carlin Dune on the 55X, followed by Fernando Beltran. So our leader at 77.4 miles in. Morgan, who's sitting in second, 75.6 miles, followed by Mark Samuels at 74.2. And then again, Santiago Creel on the 66X. He's at 73.2 miles into this race. Of course, we saw the intervals there, 30 seconds in the start. Remember, 1,000 miles, and a lot of these guys that are leaders right now will be handing off bikes, making switches throughout. Some of the riders I've talked about, when they make it into San Felipe, they'll be doing some changes. Some of the riders prefer that night section. So a lot of the guys that did the drivers of record, should say the riders of record, they went ahead and switched off for riders that I do believe are a little bit more adapt to the night riding. So the folks watching at home, we want to make sure you download that app, get all that live tracking, keep track of it. We're going to be back at 10 a.m. We're going to get the trophy trucks off the line there. Remember to download that Score app for tracking. We'll be back with live drone feed right after the start and throughout the race, and then pass it off down to La Paz. And we're going to go ahead and finish this race up here. So, folks, make sure you join us at 10 a.m. We'll be back live here with more. The Score International 50th anniversary, the Baja 1000.